Hi Tina, it's Lee. Believe it or not, I'm ready to give you your reading. Sorry it took so long. I think I mentioned that I had suffered a stomach bug and then my camera wasn't working, so I had to go out and buy a new one. But anyway, everything seems to be going well, so I'm going to go ahead and do your reading now. I've laid your spread, but first I wanted to talk a little bit about you as a Taurus. You said that your birthday is April 30th, I believe, and that makes you a Taurus. And there's some characteristics that all signs carry, and a lot of goals and career paths seem to kind of fall in the same areas depending on the sign, and Taurus is no different than that. Taurus people are they're they're interesting. I meet a lot of bankers, a lot of finance people who are Taurans. They have a way with numbers for some reason. They're very analytical in their thinking. They're perceived to be very calm and determined. Taurans tend to be very goal-oriented towards their career especially. Also just overall responsibilities in life. They take things very seriously. And I'm sure that you're probably very much that way. Um, Tauran natives are capable of achieving targets and expectations. You adhere to timelines very well, so anything that involves structure in your workaday world is very important to a Tauran. Job security is also very important to a Taurus. In fact, any form of security, be it in career, finance, or love and relationships, is very important to a Taurus. Like I said, Tauran people are very good in structured environments. They want to have a clear definition of role and responsibility in their career. You don't necessarily mind working under superiors and you follow instructions very well, but you can be called on to be the leader of the group as well. You seem to be very in sync with your supervisors. Supervisors tend to come to rely on Taurus people because they know when they need something done, the person to go to is a Taurus. They'll get it done. You're good at assisting people, administrative, marketing, things like that. Another interesting career path for a lot of Taurans tends to be the beauty industry. Taurans are believers of beauty and hygiene. They prefer clean work over dirty work. I mean, you're not going to find a lot of Taurus people who work as trash collectors or janitors, things like that. That just doesn't appeal to your very meticulous nature. You're very creative and artistic in your attitude and vision. Design, decoration, that tends to be something that Taurans tend to gravitate to. There's a few segments which are believed to be preferred by Taurus natives, like the music industry. Like again, I mentioned banking, finance, administration, management, architect. Architecture really appeals to their very structured way of life. A builder, gardening, real estate broker, interior decoration, anything antiques related. You guys have a very keen eye when it comes to the finer things and what has value and what doesn't. Scientists and even teaching and photography. It's interesting, the teaching aspect, because I have a card that showed up in your spread that I'm going to get to here in just a minute that indicates that that may be a path that, while if you haven't considered it, and you may have already, you might want to think about it, because it's kind of pointing to a mentorship or teaching role in somebody or somebody's people, meaning group life. So think about that. I don't know if you have your heart set on a career. If you do, then we'll take it from there and see how successful you're going to be in that career. But this is just to give you some ideas of what might work with you if you haven't decided on a career, or if you're kind of um, thinking, you know, what I'm doing now I don't really like, I want to try something else. So anyway, let's go on and take a look at what I've laid out for you. What I've done for you is what I call the open-close cross spread. And as you know, the reason that I offered these was because I am now using the transparent tarot, and this gives me a little, it gives me experience in working with the transparent tarot. And I feel that it's kind of important to be able to offer you a look at what I'm seeing, and as I explain it to you, I'll show you the cards as they are in their open form, which means that I'll tell you what each position of the card means, and then at the end of the reading I'll merge the cards together into kind of a 3D look, and there you'll see more of the cross, and that will hopefully give me more of an idea of where this is leading, what the outcome is going to be, maybe even timelines, things like that. But for now, I'm going to kind of explain the cards to you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my cam and point it at the spread. Please bear with me. My mic is embedded in the cam, so while I'm moving it around, you're going to hear a lot of strange noises. But as soon as I stop, it should settle down and we'll get on with the reading. So here we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. This is the spread that I've laid for you. This is the open cross spread, and when I merge them together, you'll see a cross form in the center. Now, let me explain to you what the positioning of these cards are. This center card here is what represents you. It tells me a little bit about you and what you're about, your likes, dislikes, your attitude, your what kind of drives you in life, where you want to go, the goals maybe that you have, that kind of thing. It's interesting that this card has come as your representative. It's the King of Pentacles, and Pentacles is typically associated with the earth signs, and Taurus is one of those. So it doesn't surprise me at all that this card is representing you. But let me tell you a little bit about this card and a little bit about what it might mean. So let me kind of get you in here. Okay, so you can see these cards are very minimalistic, and I believe that it works in a very wonderful way because it asks me to impose more of my clairvoyance and my empathic, sensitive nature into the reading rather than going off symbolism only within the tarot cards, which is sometimes what a tarot reader tends to do. We sometimes get a little bit lazy and let the cards do the work for us. This doesn't allow me to do that. It kind of makes me do the work. So anyway, let's begin. We're going to start off with your signifier card, which again, that's the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a very grounded individual. Again, this represents the earth. Home is a big aspect of this sign. Green is a good color for you, or you might find green things that you're naturally kind of drawn to. It's a lot of times it represents the season of fall. The astrological signs that fall under this card are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, which are all the earth signs. The King of Pentacles speaks about authority and tradition and success in money matters. Again, I have to emphasize this. With a Taurus, financial careers are very lucrative for them. They're very good with numbers. When the King of Pentacles appears in a reading, it's a sign that now is not the time to be a maverick. Now is the time to really settle down, figure out what it is you want. It has to be a realistic goal, a down-to-earth goal, something you want to do with the rest of your life. not just, something that will keep you happy for the next year. This is a time to make those big, important decisions for you. Um, I don't know. I can't remember if you sent me a picture or not. I know you've got a Facebook page, but I've never looked at it. This typically can indicate an individual who has dark eyes and or dark hair. I don't know if that represents you, but that's how you're coming across as me, um, coming across to me. So anyway, a little bit more about this. You could have an older, very established man who plays a role in your career at some point, whether it's now or very soon. You're going to find a mentor who comes to you. This man is very wise and fair. Be very careful with him, though. He's very quick to pass judgment, so you don't want him getting the wrong impression of you. But he will become a staunch supporter of yours. Um, Even if you haven't met him yet, he's going to appear in your life very soon. So be prepared for scrutiny. He's somebody who's there to make your life better. And take his constructive criticism in for all that it's worth. Use it because you're going to benefit from it. So that's what this card is all about and kind of telling me. Now, the next card that I laid, card number 2, which is what I call the Western card, because it lies in the West. And you can see there it is the Ten of Pentacles. This is the card, it's a very positive omen in a reading. And this card represents the situation and the emotions that you might be feeling at the moment, or what you're feeling about the situation. The Ten of Pentacles is a very positive omen. It means that your material wishes will be met, perhaps to a degree that you haven't even thought possible in your life. In general, most things in your life should be going quite well for you. If they're not now, they will very soon. And you might have that feeling of kind of being on top of the world right now. This is a good feeling to have, but remember, the world is cyclical. Life is cyclical. The universe is cyclical. Sometimes you're on top of the world one day, and then you start kind of seeing things happen, and pretty soon you're carrying the weight of the world rather than sitting on top of it. But this tells me that right now you have a good deal to be thankful for. There's a lot of relationships in your life that are probably going quite well now. I'm not sure if you're in love. That could be something down the road, but family should be a very important thing for you right now, and I feel like family is very important to you. This is also the card that kind of shows me that maybe if you're thinking along the lines of getting into education or becoming a teacher or something along those lines, this card kind of indicates that that might be a path for you, because as you can see, there's a figure sitting here and a younger person at this person's knee, and it's almost as though the figure that's sitting in the chair is kind of in a very authoritative figure, kind of instructing or guiding the younger person. You can see maybe he's holding a pentacle that it appears this figure has given to him, sort of as wisdom that he's to kind of carry on with life. So think about education, but again, finances and anything math related, I think, would be a great choice of careers for you. If you're working currently, a pay raise or a better position could come to you kind of out of the blue when this card appears. And this could also be as a result of this mentor that we're talking about. You're very likely to enjoy this new situation, whatever it is that's presented to you. This card is an excellent omen in the area of work. Like I said, if you currently have a job now and you feel satisfied and happy with this job, then keep going with it. But if you're feeling the least bit hesitant about whether this is something you want to do for the rest of your life, you really need to make those hard decisions now. This is a good time to do that. The energy is with you on that, so think about that. Finances, this can indicate better financial times are in the works for you, at least for the time being. So if you're having any financial problems as a result of work or career or anything, that should resolve at least for a period of time. Now, the next card that I have for you is over here, this card. This is the Knight of Swords, and this is in the Eastern position. The East position are the influences that may be playing a part within this situation that you're asking about, your career. This Knight is quite an interesting Knight because at the heart of the matter, even though he falls within the suit of swords, which can be challenges, challenging times, he's kind of a giving Knight. You can see him on bended knee. He brings a fairly upbeat and positive energy again to you. So far, you have a real positive spread. The Knights can often mean that someone or something desirable is about to seek you out. Again, you should be at the peak, either financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, or at least one of those areas. This is indicating if you don't feel that way right now, that's soon to come about. If you're waiting for news from someone or something, that's likely to come very soon. This is a messenger card, and the news that this Knight brings you is something that you want to hear. I'm wondering if this has anything to do with this card over here and a new position or a pay raise that's to come out of the blue. This Knight may be the one who brings you the news of that. So watch for a younger man in your life also, as well as this older established mentor. They may work together to see you through this. The Knight of Swords can also point to a lot of activity in your life. You may be up for traveling, being out and about, getting things accomplished. Go after what you want. This is kind of a card that says, when you really want it, make it happen. And this speaks back to this card where it says, now is the time to make those decisions that will affect the rest of your life. What it is you want, you need to make happen. And this card is telling you to please go ahead and do that now. There may not come another chance for a very long time for you to do that. In relation, again, to work questions, this is a particularly good omen if you're looking for a job. A job that is just what you've been hoping for may suddenly come your way. If you're already employed, it seems like with this card, things are about to get a bit busier, but this is a very positive thing. You will be getting very accomplished at whatever it is you do, and you may make some people look kind of bad because you're so good at what you do. So bear that in mind. Again, I'm still not completely sure that you are in the career that you want, your heart's desire. And because of the next card that I'm seeing, which is this card here. And this is in the southern position. This card tells me about the solution to the situation, the solution to your answer or your question. Now, this is a major arcana card, and I don't know if you know much about the tarot deck, but there are 22 major arcana cards. When you see a major arcana card within a spread, these cards are affectionately known to tarot readers as the "you must pay attention to me right now" card. They signify very important aspects, very important things that are going to happen to you, that need to happen to you in order for you to make the most out of your life. This card is the Hanged One. In some tarot decks, it's referred to as a hanging man or the hanged man. And many times you see this card depicted as a branch or a pole that sticks out with a man dangling with one leg upside down from the being suspended from that branch. In this deck, it takes on a much more minimalistic look with just the one leaf. And this card generally indicates that the person who's asking the questions, and in this case that would be you, that you may be at a crossroads right now in your life. And you have one of only two options. for instance, either in or out, up or down, yes or no, left or right, that kind of thing. You may find yourself very much wanting to do something, but you really have no idea what that is or how to do it. And if that happens, if that's what you're going through right now, this is a clear indication that you should stop and relax and look at everything. Take everything in that's important. And if there are changes that need to be made, again, this supports you up here that changes may be needed to be made. And now is the time to make those changes. It's possible that there's an outdated attitude or wish that you need to let go of with this card. Any sacrifice that you make will open your life up to something even more positive than what you let go of. So think about those things in your life, Tina, that maybe you're past them, you're over them, but you keep clinging to them. This can include anything from past relationships to old belief systems. Think about those and how they're serving you now. If you have something like that in your life, it's time to push that out. All in all, this should be a very thoughtful, reflective time for you. But it does signify that there are changes that are coming your way. You need to serve your own interests here. Don't take everybody else's opinion. You seem to have done that for a good deal of your life. I want you to start making decisions based on what you want now, not what everybody else wants. Don't let others influence you. If there's something that you really want, know deep in your heart that you can make it happen. You're a very strong individual. And really, once you set your mind to something, there's no stopping you. Again, Taurans are great goal keepers or goal setters and then achieving those goals. And you have a very strong sense of accomplishment when you achieve those goals. So bear that in mind with this card. This does indicate that there's change coming. And this change can be a very positive change. You may Sometimes this card shows up when you're feeling frustrated in the area of career and work. And if that's the case, again, I suggest you make a change. Look at what you really want to do for the rest of your life. Think about it. There are probably careers that suit you better than what you may be in right now or what you may be looking at for the short term. Things will change, but they don't do it on their own. You have to make them happen. And that's kind of what this card is indicating. There is a change there for you, but you've got to take the first step and make it happen. Okay? Now let's go on to the Northern card. And this Northern card is interesting. It is the outcome or what's going to happen to you, what should happen to you, what is the right course to happen for you. And that's this card here. Again, it's the Northern position. It tells me about the outcome as to what's going to happen for you, in this case, in your career and work. This is the Nine of Wands. There's a lot of complexity and difficulty that comes with this card. This card can indicate anxiety and worry, being burdened and keyed up over concerns. When the Nine of Wands shows, the best and first step is often to take a deep breath and calm down, which, again, supports this card here. Sometimes you have to take a time of reflection. That seems to be the way to go right now. You have time on your hands. But again, I get a very strong feeling that there's a change coming down there for you. You need to take the steps, but think about it. Don't just jump in, boots and all, and think that it's going to work out for you. You have to be very selective and very informed. Get educated. Whatever it is that you feel you want to do, learn everything you can about it and make sure it's exactly what you want to do. Don't let things that worry you overwhelm you. You may be somebody that worries about the smallest things. I know that I am, and I really have to work on that sometimes. Some of your worries are probably going to turn out to be just imaginary, or you made a little bit more out of it than it should have been. Comfort yourself. If you need help, don't hesitate to ask for it. Asking for help is the mark of a strong person. I kind of get a sense that maybe you don't always ask for help. You want to do it on your own and let everybody know that you're just a strong person and you can handle it. But don't feel like you have to do that all the time. When it comes to work, if you are working in a job, this can indicate there's a time of tension that may be coming up. Try not to contribute to this tension. Think before you speak. Be calm. Get clear about the things that you can control and the things that you cannot control, and try to give a little mind space to those that you can't control. Just my favorite thing to do when I'm in a situation where I just cannot, I can't influence the outcome. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I just kind of give it up to the universe. And this is kind of that card that's telling you to do that. Forewarned is forearmed, however. Again, this speaks back to career choices, getting informed, and making those decisions that need to be made. So that's a look at your spread. And now what I'm going to do, and if you'll give me a moment, I'm going to set the camera down so that I can merge the cards together. And hopefully what this is going to do is give me a little bit more information of what might be going on here, and a little clearer insight as to the outcomes. So just let me set the camera down here for a minute. You get to stare at my, well, I'll let you stare at my lamp there. How exciting. And what I'm doing now is merging these cards to form in the center a cross. And I'll show you that here in just a minute. It's actually interesting. It's given me a lot of insight here. Okay. All right, now I'm going to let you look at it. And you can see what I have here. Very interesting to me, because what has happened now is that these two figures have merged. And much like this one up here, it gives me the sense of somebody, you, teaching or mentoring somebody who is maybe perhaps younger than you. Again, you're offering a pentacle to him. Just like in this picture here, this is almost taking this picture here in the way you're kind of thinking about it, or dreaming about maybe doing this in your future, and actually bringing it to fruition here, making it happen. You see that the hang card here has moved up into the picture and is kind of resting on this gentleman's knee, or this young person's knee, as though to say, change is good, change will happen, just rest with it, it's going to be fine. And then you see this, the Nine of Wands up here has kind of melted into your head, and that tells me that you worry an awful lot about things, and a lot of the things that you worry about really are beyond your control, and you should let go of them. So this tells me that you really need to get clear on what it is you want. You can make it happen, and I really would look towards the education or financial aspect of this. Pentacles is a lot about finances. When you see a card, a lot of tarot decks, typically they pictorialize the pentacle cards with a person that looks very well off, wealthy, and they're holding pentacles as a symbol of their wealth and their the things that they've gained in their life, and the materialistic side of life. And that's kind of what this is signifying. So it could be that you'll start out in a financial area and become a teacher in that area in some way. So yeah, I mean, this is a really, really positive spread for me. I think that you're open and you're ready for some changes, and those changes are going to happen. You just have to take the first step and make those hard decisions and decide what it is you want to do. And remember, as a Taurus, you have a lot of options. There's a lot of careers that would suit you. So really think about that. And do whatever is passionate to you. You're not the type of person that can do something every day just to earn a paycheck, although that does make you feel very good when you earn a good paycheck and you can pay all your bills. But I think you need to do something that touches your heart as well. So really think about those aspects and let me know. I'd be interested to hear um, what you decide or where this goes or where this takes you. But I see some really positive things occurring in your life. Don't worry so much, sweetie. It's not nearly as bad as you might think it is in most cases, and you're probably a worrier anyway. Just work on trying to let that go because really you shouldn't sweat the small stuff. And in the whole big scheme of life, most everything is the small stuff. So there you go. I'm going to put this up on YouTube now and give you, once it's published, I'll give you the link. And I hope you found some answers and some guidance within this. Take care, my dear. Blessings. Please stay in touch with me and let me know how it goes. Thank you and good night.